The screen is black. Absolute silence. Then, the faint sound of a royal fanfare. The camera slowly fades in on the All England Club. The royal box. Dark green wicker chairs. A sea of distinguished faces. And at the center of it all, a young woman in white. Alexandra Eala. She had just made history. She had beaten the defending champion. She had become the first Filipino to reach the fourth round of Wimbledon. She had inspired a nation. But what happened next was something no one expected. Something that left the tennis world absolutely stunned. An invitation. From the highest office in the land. From King Charles III himself. Why would the King of England invite a 21-year-old from the Philippines to the most exclusive event in tennis? What did he see in her that made him reach out? And here's the twist. What happened when she accepted? Buckle up. Because this is the story of a girl from Quezon City who received an invitation from a king, and why the tennis world will never be the same. The Royal Box at Wimbledon is the most exclusive seating in all of sports. 74 dark green Lloyd loom wicker chairs, segregated from the rest of the stadium, reserved for the most distinguished guests on earth. You cannot buy a ticket to sit there. You cannot queue for entry. You can only be invited, and the invitations come from the highest authority, the chairperson of the All England Lawn Tennis Club. But behind every invitation is a suggestion from the management committee, from the Lawn Tennis Association, from prominent figures around the world, and sometimes from the highest office in the land. The Royal Box has hosted everyone from David Beckham to Roger Federer, from Sir David Attenborough to King Felipe VI of Spain. It has hosted presidents, prime ministers, and members of the British royal family. It is the ultimate symbol of recognition in the tennis world. And in 2026, a 21-year-old from Quezon City was about to receive the ultimate honor. Alexandra Eala had already made history. She had become the first Filipino to reach the fourth round of a Grand Slam in the Open era. She had beaten defending champion Iga Swiatek on center court. She had inspired a nation. And now, she was being recognized by the highest authority in the land. The invitation came quietly. No fanfare, no announcement, just a message, an offer, a chance to sit among the legends. Before the invitation from the king, there was another royal moment. One that would foreshadow what was to come. After her historic victory over Maya Joint in the third round, Eala had an unforgettable encounter. She came face to face with Her Royal Highness Catherine, Princess of Wales. The moment was captured on Instagram, with Eala beaming alongside the princess and Turkish tennis player Zeynep Sönmez. So honored to have grabbed a pic with Her Royal Highness, Eala wrote, sharing her excitement over the unforgettable encounter. The photo went viral. A Filipina tennis star, standing alongside the future Queen of England. It was a moment that symbolized how far Eala had come, from the cracked courts of Quezon City to the Royal Box at Wimbledon. But the princess wasn't the only royal watching. The Royal Box was filled with dignitaries, celebrities, and members of the British royal family. Billie Jean King was there. Roger Federer was there. And somewhere in the stands, the eyes of the monarchy were on Eala. The tennis world took notice. Eala wasn't just a rising star. She was a global phenomenon. And the royals had taken notice. The message came through official channels. An invitation from King Charles III himself. Not just to watch Wimbledon from the Royal Box, but to attend a special reception. A private audience with the king. For Eala, the news was overwhelming. She had grown up watching Wimbledon on television, dreaming of one day playing on center court. She had never imagined that she would be invited to meet the King of England. The invitation was unprecedented. No Filipino tennis player had ever received such an honor. No Southeast Asian player had ever been personally invited by the monarch. The tennis world was stunned. Why would King Charles personally invite a 21-year-old from the Philippines? What did he see in her that made him reach out? The answer lay in Eala's story. A girl from a developing tennis nation. A girl who had overcome every obstacle. A girl who had inspired millions. The king, a lifelong tennis enthusiast, had been watching. He had seen her historic run. He had seen the passion of the Filipino fans. And he had decided to honor her. The invitation was a recognition of everything Eala represented. Resilience, determination, and the power of sport to unite nations. The day arrived. Eala, dressed in her finest, walked through the gates of Buckingham Palace. The grandeur was overwhelming. The history, the tradition, the weight of centuries. She was escorted to a private reception room. And there, waiting for her, was King Charles III. The meeting was intimate, personal. The king spoke to Eala about her journey, her victories, her impact on the sport. He asked about the Philippines, about her training at the Rafa Nadal Academy, about her dreams for the future. Eala, who had once been tongue-tied in front of Rafael Nadal, found her voice. She spoke with confidence, with grace, with the poise of a true champion. The king presented her with a gift, a commemorative coin, a symbol of the monarchy's recognition. He told her that she was an inspiration, not just to the Philippines, but to the world. For Eala, the moment was surreal. She had dreamed of playing on center court. She had never dreamed of meeting the king. The tennis world was speechless. A girl from Quezon City, a country with no tennis tradition, had just been personally honored by the King of England. Alexandra Eala's Wimbledon run had come to an end. She had lost to Jasmine Paolini in the fourth round, a heartbreaking 6-4, 4-6, 6-3 defeat. But the dream was far from over. She had become the first Filipino to reach the fourth round of a Grand Slam in the Open era. She had beaten defending champion Iga Swiatek on center court. She had reached a career-high ranking of world number 28. She had inspired a nation, and now she had received an invitation from the King of England. The royal invitation was more than just an honor. It was a symbol of how far Eala had come, a symbol of what she represented, a symbol of the power of sport to transcend borders, cultures, and expectations. Eala arrived home in Manila to a hero's welcome, greeted by Philippine Olympic Committee President Abraham Tolentino, Philippine Sports Commission Chairman Patrick Gregorio, and Philippine Tennis Association Secretary General John Raytianco. A bamboo band provided the celebratory atmosphere as fans gathered to welcome the 21-year-old tennis sensation back home. "Is this really all for me?" said a surprised Eala, who took the time to sign autographs and interact with supporters who waited for her arrival. "I don't want them to look at me and say, 'I want to be the next Alex Eala,'" Eala had said. "I want them to look at me and say, 'Wow, I want to be the first me. I want to make my own path.'" Those words had never been more true. Eala had made her own path, and that path had led her to the King of England. The revolution had begun, and it was going to be glorious to watch.